What's up, Starcraft fans? It looks like there is some new Starcraft 2 co-op content coming soon. Right now it's live in the public test realm of Starcraft 2, but it looks like it will be going live soon, and it's actually, testable in the public test realm. So what is it? It's called Commander Prestige. A new prestige system has been added that allows players to play through the levels 1 through 15 progression, up to 3 additional times per commander. So even if you have all your commanders maxed out, you can play through each one of them again level 1 through 15. But for what benefit? Each time a player activates Prestige with a given commander, they will unlock a unique Prestige talent, which can be used to change the core gameplay of the commander. So what happens here essentially is that you'll be able to play your commander an entirely different way with the new strengths and weaknesses of their heroes, abilities, or units. So they can be used to change the core gameplay, meaning for example, what Karax is good at normally is holding down a specific location. But if you use a specific prestige, he will instead be good at bombarding areas or making units. It's kind of like masteries, except there's no 1 to 90 here. It's just which prestige option you use for that particular option. Only one prestige talent may be equipped at a time for each commander, and it is possible that a player equips none of these talents, in which case the commander will receive their standard loadout. So an example includes Abathur the Limitless. Ultimate evolutions are uncapped in number. However, ultimate evolutions require 200 biomass to morph. Wow, that's a lot of biomass. And biomass gives half the normal benefits. Okay, I can see how this looks like. So it looks like this is an option to allow players to use commanders who are normally weak in a mutation, to see if they can change that commander around a little bit or just enough to make that commander less bad or even viable for that mutation. I'm thinking Karax, maybe Stukov for transmutation, off the top of my head. But you know what? No better way to see what they're actually good for than to just dive in and have a look at them. First up, we have Little Jimmy Raynor, the people's hero. So what we'll want to do is click this customize thing, which will show us all the options for that commander. We can see here that by default, he's set as Renegade Commander, which is, I guess, the basic Raynor that you unlock the first time you get him. Then, once you unlock the first prestige, you can select one of these 3, or select them in order. I don't actually know yet since this is not yet live, so yeah, this is a public test realm, so I don't have any of these. So, first let's look at Backwater Sheriff. Biologically, it's gained 100% increased life. Disadvantages are that mules are unavailable. I guess this is for people who really need to keep their force alive. I'm thinking if you're playing against Transmutation, and you need to go bio as Raynor, this could be something that you can use. Although if you're playing against Transmutation, I'd just go Mass Siege or Battle Cruiser or something. But yeah, if bio is your best option and you need to keep the units alive, this will probably be your choice for the Prestige. Next we have Rough Rider. Advantage: Afterburners additionally increase attack speed by 100%. Cooldown reduced by 50%. Ooh. Units no longer cost less. Ooh. Afterburners movement speed bonus reduced to 50%. So it looks like the Afterburners are going to be used here offensively for things like Banshees, Vultures, Siege, Battle Cruisers. It's like a stim that doesn't cost life. Yeah, I guess you can stim your mech units now to make them more effective in fights. I think I like this one. Rough Rider, yeah. If you like going mech Raynor, this is probably a good one for you to use. Just remember to actually use your Afterburners. I probably have to rebind that to a different hotkey so I can actually, use it. And then Rebel Raider. The starport no longer has tech requirements. Ooh! Oh, hold on. I can go straight to Battle Cruisers. No longer has tech requirements or gas cost, and it seems to cost 30% less gas. Vikings, Banshees, and Battle Cruisers increase top bar cooldown rates by 1% per supply used. This is actually insane. Combat units cost 50% more metals, but yeah, with mules, what does that matter? My goodness, this sounds really good. I think I might go for this Rebel Raider one. This sounds like a really good one. I mean, even more so than Backwater Sheriff, but I guess if you really like Bio in particular, Backwater Sheriff is your choice, but if you just want to keep a strong, undying force, Mass Battlecruisers with Rebel Raiders seems like a good option, since they cost 30% less, so you can probably get away with the triple starport, just throwing it out there. Maybe triple starport production, and maybe upgrades too? Yeah, we'll see. Next up, we have Kerrigan, Queen of Blades. Or at least she is by default. You can change her once you get your prestige levels to Malevolent Matriarch. Malignant Creep effectiveness increased by 100%. The disadvantage is that the Nidus and Omega networks are unavailable. That sounds like a deal breaker to me. But if you like Mass Mutalisk as Kerrigan, if you think the mutation calls for Mass Mutalisk such as I don't know, something like Scorched Earth maybe, then you can go for this version. Although I don't see the difference between Queen of Blades and Malevolent Matriarch if you will go for Mutalisks, because Mutalisks don't actually benefit from, as far as I know, only ground units do benefit from creep. But hey, maybe it's the 100% effectiveness makes it even better. Or if you're really good about your creep spread, you can use maybe Queens to use the good old-fashioned creep tumor to spread creep. I imagine this will be good on small maps too. The maps where it's kind of easy to get the creep where you need it to be. Maps like Oblivion Express, where the creep doesn't really need to spread far, just far enough down your base so that your units can make use of it. Maybe a map like Lock and Load. No, Lock and Load's pretty big for its completion time. Maybe Void Thrashing. Yeah, maybe Void Thrashing can make use of this Malevolent Matriarch one. But it looks like you will need to spread your creep manually, using queens, tumors, and hatcheries. Otherwise, this is probably not the prestige for you. Folly of Man. Kerrigan expends stacks of fury while using Leaping Strike or Psionic Shift, striking nearby enemies for 50 damage while stunning them for 3 seconds. I can already see where this is useful. If you have Heroes from the Storm, for example, and you really need crowd control as Kerrigan in addition to Immobilization Wave, you can probably use this version. Kerrigan's Carapace generation reduced by 50%. Kerrigan ability damage reduced by 50%. Yeah, I can probably go for a very unit-heavy strategy here. You can probably go for Vespene Gas Cost and Expedious Evolutions, and then go for a lot of units on this one. If you really need the stun ability for Kerrigan, if you really need that crowd control to go in your favor. Desolate Queen. Assimilation Aura. Resource drops increased by 100%. Oh wow. She's getting lots of money. Kerrigan gains Kinetic Blast and Crushing Grip. Oh. Ooh, I actually like these abilities. Kinetic Blast can target air units. So you know what? This might be good for mutations on Void Launch. Because yeah, the attack waves on Void Launch tend to spawn in 2 little areas. And if you use your Assimilation Auras when the attack waves spawn there, you can get tons of value. Leaping Strike and Psionic Shift are unavailable, that's unfortunate, but with the Kinetic Blast and Crushing Grip, you will be more easily able to handle air attack waves as Kerrigan. You know what? This third one sounds very good to me, especially on anti-air maps like Void Launch. Now we'll see how they changed Artanis. We have Valorous Inspirator. Why not Inspirer? Is it really Inspirator, guys? Comment down below if you really think it's Inspirator. Increase the effectiveness of all active combat unit abilities by 100%. Does that mean Psionic Storm? Combat units cost 30% more. So this one's a bit of an interesting one. I actually think that speedrunners will be more inclined to use this one, because 100% more effective combat unit abilities means that they'll clear the map twice as fast. But the 30% cost, I'm not sure if that means you'll have to be more careful about your units, which is something that speedrunners are good at anyway. I'm guessing that if you are good at keeping units alive and using spell casting abilities like Psionic Storm, this could be a good one for you. So normally the Psi Storm deals 80 damage, But if it's doubled in effectiveness, it'll deal 160 damage, which can take out a single Beerless on its own without stacking. And I think with enough, you can actually take out big hybrids with enough storms. And actually, that also, I'm guessing this also increases the shield regenerating ability of the storm. I think this could actually be a good one for Artanis. Yeah, if you're gonna play on a long map like Mal Warfare or Missed Opportunities, where you will not have a problem getting enough money, I do recommend actually going for this one because it seems like an all-around powerful move. Just be careful with your units. Although for minerals, I don't think it's gonna be that much of a concern because Artie was never that thirsty for minerals anyway. Next is Nexus Legate. On use, projected power field warps out any of your combat units standing in an existing power field position into the new location. Cooldown removed. Power field costs. Oh yes, yes, yes. This is really good. One of my main problems for Artanis, once he maxes out, is his lack of mobility. This will solve that. Imagine if you have, on missed opportunities, observers sieged up in the spawn locations. You can bunch up your army in one spot under a power field, and when you see a wave spawn, just teleport your power field there, and your army's already right on top of it. That sounds awesome. And not just that map. Even on maps where the attack wave can spawn a different spot from where you are, like Cradle of Death, you can keep attacking the areas in Cradle of Death, the construct areas in Cradle of Death, and if there's a threat in your base, just stand your forces in the power field, then warp them back to base. And after you've killed the attack wave, just warp back to this one sounds even better. This one sounds bonkers actually. Oh yeah, my main problem with Artanis initially is his lack of mobility. Once I have this ability, I imagine the things like cheese on Rift's Core Hall will be even better. Because you can just move your Tempests to where you need them to be. And when retreating, oh, this sounds really amazing. This sounds bonkers. Oh man, I love this. I will, if there's an option to unlock any of them first, let's read Arsha Commandant first. Orbital Strikes, warp in Unbound Fanatic, that throws off damaging energy and lasts 15 seconds. Shield Overcharge is now targeted. As its cooldown reduced by 50%, costs 25 energy. Orbital Strike costs 50 energy. Guardian Shell is ooh, that's a deal breaker right there, sir. Yeah, Guardian Shell is Artanis' thing. It's one of the things that makes him, bearable when he's weak. And it's kind of, yeah, this one's gonna be a no-go for Mutations. Maybe in regular games, this would be good, but in Mutations, this is gonna be a no-go, sir. Especially when you have Nexus Legate, this one sounds awesome. Why would you not go for this one? Right? Comment down below if I'm crazy, because I really like this one. Oh man, this one sounds bonkers. I mean, I'm not a speedrunner. Maybe if I'm a speedrunner, I would take this, but I'm not. So this one sounds flat out awesome. Let's move on to the next commander, called Swann. Yeah, check out that name. It's literally named Swann. We have Heavy Weapon Specialist. The laser drill deals splash damage and slows. I actually wonder. Oh, laser drill's abilities are unavailable, so no more game metal? That might be a deal breaker for me. The pulse cannon is amazing, but then again, on maps like Dead of Night, I might not necessarily need the concentrated beam or pulse cannon, but on maps like Chain of Ascension, I definitely prefer a variant of Swann that does have those top bar abilities. But I'm thinking on maps like Part and Parcel, on maps like Dead of Night, I might not necessarily need those top bar abilities if I can just snipe the targets, snipe the objectives better. For the maps with heavy defenses like Chain of Ascension, especially Chain of Ascension, since the rest of the map is in a horizontal line from where you are, I would definitely want the top bar abilities for Swann, the concentrated beam and the pulse cannon. Yeah, I'll actually want to see how big the splash is. If it's a huge splash, it might sway me. Yeah, I'll have to see what the actual numbers are first. Grease Monkey. Turret upgrades are 100% more effective. Combat units cost 50% more Vespene gas. That sounds like a turret Swann strategy to me. You can actually troll this one by just doing mass Hellions and turrets. But I think, yeah, this one definitely sounds like a mass turret type of Swann. You can use this at Temple of the Past. Speaking of Temple of the Past, would this be... I still prefer the top bars, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'd give up the Pulse Cannon, Heavy Metal Cannon, for a bit of splash damage. Maybe for Poopagators? Maybe. Yeah, if we're doing Poopagators, this could actually be useful. Let's see. Combat units get 50% more Vespene gas. Or cost 50% more Vespene gas. Yeah, this seems like a defensive setup for maps like Minor Evac or maps like Dead of Night. That this does seem like a great option, the Grease Monkey one. Or I guess Void Launch. If there are no area damage mutators, maybe if you want to turtle up on the Oblivion Express, you can do mass turrets there, and just move the few tanks that you have to to fight them. But imagine the turret upgrades for Swann include auto repair, range upgrade, attack speed upgrade, and armor upgrade. They'll be effective on all those means. Imagine the Flaming Betty having something like, I don't know, what's its current rate? 2? 4 with 3 with upgrade? Imagine the Flaming Betty with 6 range. How insane is that? That sounds actually something I want to try out when this change comes out. 6 range Flaming Betty. How much range would the blaster abilities have? Something like siege tank level range? Yeah, this does sound like something I want to try out at least once on the Oblivion Express, just to see how it works. Finally, we have Payload Director. Hercules had twice the cargo capacity and unload units instantly. Tactical jump cooldown reduced by 50%. Yeah. Top bar cooldowns increased by 100%. Oh, I'm not sure if this is worth it, to be honest. Yeah, not terribly impressed with this one, especially when we have I don't know, 6 range Flaming Betties over here, and we have the ability to jump faster. I mean, unload units. I mean, the Hercules already unload units instantly. What would be the change here? Twice the cargo. You mean I need to make 16 siege tanks now? I guess for a really heavy ground composition, I might need this one. But I mean, we never get to pick the ground the compositions anyway. Just the maps and the mutators. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe for Heroes of the Storm mutators or for Fatal Attraction mutators, you can have all your firepower just retreat into the Hercules. But then again, if a Fatal Attraction is active, it's probably not a good idea to run out the Hercules because it will probably just get pulled and your tanks are stuck there. So yeah, probably not a good idea for Fatal Attraction. Maybe for something like let me see. Maybe Poopagators so you can escape faster? Yeah, I'm looking at the list of mutators and none of these really sounds like something that a slightly better, or not better, a better Hercules would solve. No, the thing is that a single regular Hercules with 8 tanks can probably solve most of Swann's problems. Maybe if you have Just Die, you need twice the number of tanks to kill stuff. Maybe. Anyway, yeah. So let's move on to our next commander. The incredible Zagara. Let's see what her prestige abilities are. Scourge Queen rather. Max supply increased by 50. 150 supply Zagara. Zerglings and Scourge spawn 1 extra. So we have 3 Scourge per egg. We have 4 Zerglings per egg. And we max out at 150? That sounds bonkers. Baling Nest will spawn an additional 4 free Banelings. And Scourge Nest will spawn 4 free Scourge. This is super duper swarm. Zagara's on the way. Ooh. Yeah, the thing is, if you've seen my playstyle with Zagara at all, you'll realize that I love migrating Zagara around just to get value with those Bailing Barrages and those Hunter Killers. Will they convert just as well if I'm using this particular prestige? I imagine this won't be good for microtransactions, definitely not, because one of the things Zagara does is to have everything follow her and they attack automatically. So if I'm able to, if I have no hero, it'll be harder to micro this big army around. Definitely won't use this in Fatal Attraction either. I think this one's more like a general purpose one for regular brutal. That sounds like. Don't see, maybe on Minesweeper you'd just flat out more stuff. And yeah, Zagara is great against Minesweeper, but you can just flat out overwhelm the stuff. And maybe Magnificent also. Yeah, maybe Magnificent. Definitely don't recommend this when there are a lot of area damage mutators around. Maybe against killbots. This is something that would be good against killbots, because you have more stuff to feed the enemy. Definitely not against wait, depends. It depends. If you're up against Poopagators, maybe. Depends on what map it is and how well your Zagara micro is. If your Zagara micro is good enough, you probably don't need this against Poopagators. Against Void Rifts, you know what? This could be good against Void Rifts because Zerglings will spawn in groups of 4, so that'll allow you to probably burst down the first 2 rifts faster. I imagine this would be good for Void Rifts. The problem is, once the Far Rifts spawn, you must either overwhelm the map at that point, or have an ally who can reach the far end, because one of Zagara's abilities to deal with Far Rifts is by dropping the Roach drop there. If Zagara's not around, no Roach drop. Another thing is no Mass Frenzy, right? Zagara's unavailable, so no Mass Frenzy. That seems like a pretty big thing to get up, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's still worth without Mass Frenzy, because Mass Frenzy not only affects Zagara herself, but also her ally. I guess, yeah, for regular Brutal, if you're up against Bio, if you're up against a lot of units like Broodlings or Infested, maybe this will work. Yeah, I think those are the use cases. Also Killbots. Yeah. Mother of Constructs. Aberrations and Corruptors cost 25% less. You gain 50% increased health. Possess greatly increased health regeneration. Ooh! Sustainable army for Zagara. Abs and Corruptors. No free Banelings. You know what? This might be a deal that I might just take up. Just to see. Yeah. I haven't actually tried Mass Corruptor before, but if they cost 25% less, and are 50% tankier, and have greater health regeneration, they might just be crazy enough to work. No free Banelings is a bit sad, but yeah, the first wave's gonna be harder to hold without free Banelings. But if I can get Aberration out by then, cost 25% less. Yeah, I can probably mass Aberrations here if they cost 25% less. They gain 50% increased health. Yeah, they're basically mini heroes at this point. We'll have to try it out, guys. I recommend this for, well, definitely not against Poopagators. Maybe against Heroes from the Storm? Nah, Bailing still. Bailing still rolling Heroes from the Storm. Maybe the area damage mutators. Yeah, so you can actually have more maneuverability with a smaller army. Maybe that's the use case. Also, maybe just die. Just die really banks on the fact that you don't have infinite money as Zagara, because each enemy needs to be killed twice. So basically, your army is only half as effective. So if you have a more stable army, this might be good. Yeah, I guess just die seems like the way to go. For me at least. Apex Predator. Zagara gains reduced ability cooldowns. Oh, this is the hero solo. Increased health. Energy regeneration. Access to Deep Tunnel. Mass Frenzy only affects Zagara and her summon units. Yeah, this is the hero solo. This is the hero solo one. Yeah, can't wait to try this out. If, for example, microtransactions is active, if something like maybe easy mutators that don't really need you to snipe Shard, for example, or Shuttles, yeah, the hero solo version might be the way to go. maybe for heavy micro situations like going nuclear, self-destruction. Yeah, I see myself using the Apex Predator version during those mutators. Alright, that seems pretty straightforward. Next up from the shadows, we have Vorazun. Let's see what she has. Spirit of Respite. What does this do? Emergency Recall. Recalls cloakiness to the closest nexus or dark pylon instead of the primary structure and heals life and shields to full. Deploy dark pylon cooldown and cost reduced by... Dark pylons lose recall? That's a bit sad, but not a bad deal to be honest. Because, yeah, I definitely plan to use this on Black Death mutators. Because remember my problem with Vorazun and Black Death? Her Dark Templar teleport back to the base, and then they die and spread the Black Death to the entire mineral line. Same goes for her ally, and they both die. So how does this work for the ally though? I'm wondering if the allies' death recall units will also teleport back to the dark pylon, or if they will still teleport back to whatever town hall structure they come from. I'll have to clear this out once I unlock this. I'll have to see whether death recall works this way for just Vorazun or also for her ally, because that'll probably play a big factor on whether this one's good for Black Death or not. Although I imagine this will be good for, again, just die, because when your army dies, it slowly teleports back to base, and it has to march all the way back to the front. So I imagine if you have a dark pylon nearby, that'll make it easier for your army to just fight again, although it'll be easier for them also, just ever so slightly easier. Just re-die. Then again, just having your full army for longer in the fight probably might make this worthwhile. Withering Siphon. Enemy units affected by Void Stasis, Confusion, Stasis Ward, Disruption Web, or Dark Coil lose 20 life per second. Does it stack? Combat units deal 50% reduced damage. Oh, Stasis Ward reduction reduced by 75%. Ooh, so the primary damage deal for Vorazun becomes the Disruption Web, I guess, and the Stasis Ward. That does seem like the case. This seems like a very cheesy type thing, where if you go for mass oracles, for example, you can probably make this work. Just use dark. I wonder if this use enemy units, not buildings. Well, 20 life per second is not quite enough to matter for something like a Pupagator, but if you have enough Corsairs along a path, maybe it'll work. But I'm not sure what kind of mutation this kind of thing would actually benefit from. To be honest, I think it's an anti-benefit for something like Barrier, because it'll just activate the barrier when you use the ability, and yeah, it'll just activate the barrier, and they'll make him actually harder to kill. And what makes it even worse is that your combat units deal 50% reduced damage, which sucks. So, not sure about this one, to be honest. Maybe if you're trying to do, a really weird type of cheese, maybe this will work. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. Keeper of Shadows. Time stop becomes targeted. All Shadow Guard who have died are resurrected at the target location. Shadow Guard duration reduced by 40%. Time stop becomes targeted. All Shadow Guard who have died are resurrected at a target location. Okay. I'm actually not sure how this works. Do you guys think that all Shadow Guard have timed out? If you, for example, if you call down 5 Shadow Guards, will all of them come back when you use the time stop again? Yeah, time stop, right? Time stop becomes targeted. All Shadow Guard who have died are resurrected at the target location. So, yeah, all Shadow Guard who have died. So basically, each time you use time stop, it also summons Shadow Guard at that spot, and you just send it to their deaths, so that they're able to keep up their. I might try this out actually. Looks interesting. I wonder what kind of mutator I would use it on, to be honest. To be honest, the Matriarch of Venerazim seems still the best. Maybe Spirit of Respite. Yeah, maybe this one, but Matriarch of Venerazim honestly still sounds like the best version to me. Just because I like Vorazun's damage, and I like the global ability of Time Stop. So, wait. Does this mean that Time Stop is still global? But the difference is that where you cast Time Stop, you'll also have Shadow Guard. Because that's different. Because if Time Stop is still active, and wherever you use Time Stop, the Shadow Guard spawn there, then that might be something. That I might take that deal actually. If that's the case, just infinite Shadow Guard, that seems like a good deal to me. Unless I really love black holes, so yeah, we'll see. So yeah, let's move on to the next commander. Phasing in, we have the iDef boy himself, Karax, who will, by the way, get a ton of buffs this next patch. Let's see. Architect of War. Repair Beam is 100% more effective and can target twice as many structures. Unity Barrier affects defensive structures and its cooldown is reduced by 75%. Wait, it affects structures now. Cooldown is reduced by 75%, so that means it's pretty much active every minute. Chrono Boost, Chrono Wave, and Chrono Field affect defensive structures, so cannons. This is the iDef mastery, guys! My goodness. All the iDefs, hold up, that character is actually blocking the, hold up. Yeah, there we go, sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So, increasing the rate of attack. So my static defense shoot faster, they have barrier for longer, and they get repaired faster. This very much sounds like an anti-missile command setup. This sounds very much like a Temple of the Past kind of thing that you would definitely want to use. Maybe a void launch thing, maybe a little bit express kind of thing. Definitely something you want to use on the defensive map, but I imagine not something I would use for example, Cradle of Death or Chain of Ascension. Because why would I use that when I have Templar Apparent? Let me put back that image on. Combat unit cost reduced by 40%. My goodness, photon cannon. Sure, yes, please, yes. Oh man, I can finally make a real army as Karax again, boys. I can actually mass energizers, carriers, immortals, or whatever unit I want. Combat unit cost reduced by 40%. Okay, I just did some quick maths. So, Karax's standard version has the units more expensive by 30%. So if they're more expensive by 30% and they get a 40% discount, the net effect of that is still a discount of 22%. So effectively, the Sentinel, instead of costing 130 minerals, costs now 78 minerals. And it's actually great if you want to fast expand on the rock maps. Oh, this is exciting. I want to use this one, man. As soon as I get level 15 for Karax, I'm definitely switching to Templar Apparent. If that's the first option available. But let's see. Solarite Celestial. Orbital Strike and Solar Lance energy costs reduced by 40%. What? So what? Orbital Strikes now cost 2 energy? That sounds fun. Let me do some maths. Okay, so 85 shots times 50 damage each is 4250 damage on anything you target. And if it's armored, you deal twice that, 8500 damage. Sounds good. That sounds very good. Goodness. Soul Lance and Purifier Beam cooldowns are reduced by 50%. Oh man! I already imagine using this in Dead of Night. Oh man, just imagine having rows of a row of cannons and then observers all around the map, and just using Soul Lance all day on rows of buildings, taking out 3 or 4 at a time, and then those big chunky buildings left, just use whatever energy you have on orbital strike. Once the soul lands, I think this is a really good deal, guys. And yeah, 40% cost reduction. Oh, sorry. For energy cost reduced by 40%. So orbital strikes cost. Wait, okay, I messed up, guys. Let me redo the math. Yeah, one shot is 5, so 40% discount is 3. So each orbital strike costs 3 energy. Okay, so if you spam all your orbital strikes on a single target, it'll deal 3167 damage. Unless it's armored, in which case it will deal 63 damage, something like that. Is pretty good. That's actually enough to take out one of the void slivers, I believe, on its own. That actually sounds pretty good. If you have full energy mastery, that is. But yeah, Chrono Boost, Chrono Wave, and Chrono Field are unavailable. Yeah, this sounds like very much a Dead of Night type of deal, where I just have the observers placed on the map and just use the solar lands on the buildings, and I pretend to be defending, and my ally is very happy that I'm defending, and looks at the bases, the infested buildings are gone because I solar lands them down. That's how I'll use this. Defensive, but nah, I'm gonna go offensive here, man. Don't know about you. Next we have the big boy, Abathur. See, he's green, guys. He's green, not yellow. Anyway. Essence Hoarder. Combat units can hold additional 25 biomass and have an additional 50% chance to drop their biomass upon death. Disadvantage: ultimate evolutions are unavailable. Yeah, this is definitely an anti-black death, prestige, because you don't want ultimate evolutions on Black Death, because they'll just die. So yeah, you definitely want to have more biomass-based units rather than the ultimate evolution-based army for those type of mutators. So yeah, pretty good. Tunneling Horror. Locusts have 50% increased attack range. No! This one sucks. Locust, just delete that thing already. Locust just ruined the luring of the toxicness, guys. Don't. Deep Tunnel upgrade no longer requires Hive. No longer requires Vision. It can be used by roaches and ravagers. Does that still require an infestation pit though? Is that still an infestation pit research? Because whenever I get the Deep Tunnel upgrade, yeah, it's from the infestation pit. Basically one step shy of the Hive, so guess yay? But can be used by roaches and ravagers though. Combat units cost 25% more Vespin gas. Maybe if you want to have a really mobile army against air, thinking against air on maps like Temple of the Past, Mist of Opportunities, Mal Warfare, maybe Cradle of Death. If you want to deep tunnel back to base, seems good. The Limitless. Number of ultimate evolutions is no longer capped at 3. Ultimate evolution requires 200 biomass. Biomass is less powerful. Yeah, if you do a mass ultimate evolution type of strategy, I imagine maps like Lock and Load get 4 Brutalisks. That'd be bonkers, actually. Maybe even 5. The thing is, wait, let me see. Yeah, the Tunneling Horror might actually be better for Lock and Load, because you can just deep tunnel a roach on the north lock and the east lock. When you clear those Brutalisks, they no longer have to pass through defenses and basically just deep tunnel straight to their biomass and become Brutalisks on the spot. That's if you lose a Brutalisk. The Limitless though. What map would I use it on? Maybe giant maps. Thing is, I'd like to have normally you'd only need 100 biomass to get a Brutalisk, but with this one you need 200. So I imagine you'd use this on maps where you can get tons of early biomass. Definitely not Donny Vermilion. Maybe Void Crashing? Maybe Void Launch? Rift to Core Hall? Yeah, it's gonna be a bit tricky here. I don't imagine this will appeal very much to speedrunners who want to do maps like Donny Vermilion or Oblivion Express, because it's even harder to get biomass. But yeah, if you're on a longer map, maybe this will work out in your favor. On Temple of the Past, if you're able to spawn camp right away, but I don't imagine this being quite that useful. Maybe in some mutators. In some mutators where going units is very much not advisable. For example, microtransactions, maybe slim pickings. Yeah, if those are the mutators, then maybe go for the limitless. Just go for as many ultimate evolutions as you can. Just make roaches. Just micro your heart out. Don't care about money. If you have money, make a single roach, then send that to the biomass, get another ultimate evolution, then yeah, just make do with whatever few ultimate evolutions you have and win the game. This is probably what the limitless is for. Okay, done. Let's move on to the next boy. Mr. Lord High. Or High Lord. Alarak. We have Artificer of Souls. When the supplicant dies, it increases the damage and attack speed of one of Alarak's nearby non-heroic mechanical combat units. Deadly charge and destruction rate damage reduced by 50%. Yeah, definitely gonna be a mech kind of prestige. If you like your vanguards, by the way, I made another video showing how effective vanguards are on their own. Do check that out. If you like vanguards, slayers, and wrathwalkers, this is the one for you. Pretty clear. Tyrant Ascendant. Empower Me cost or Empower Me cooldown reduced by 50%. Death Fleet isn't available. Okay, so you get double the Empower Me and no Death Fleet. I imagine the Empower Me duration cooldown is the only thing you use under this kind of prestige. It seems like the only sensible option. Imagine running this prestige talent and using Death Fleet cooldown. Literally what? Anyway. Yeah, if you like running Ascendants, for example, maybe this one's good for you because Alarak is gonna be your primary building damage or building killer anyway. So with more Empower Me, you'll be able to get Alarak to be even more effective against buildings. Maybe this will be good against Void Launch, against maybe Oblivion Express, maybe? Yeah, where you don't need that much mobility, because Death Fleet is basically Alarak's mobility here. Don't recommend this for Temple of the Past because Death Fleet is kind of your only access point to the back base unless you like War Prisms for some reason. Maybe Cradle of Death? Nah, Death Fleet's still very useful there. Maybe... no, not either. Because again, mobility is very good on that map. Yeah, I guess those small maps. Maybe Void Thrashing. Rift to Core Hall? Pretty good there too. Just have Alarak smash them rifts with Empower Me. And use the... if you want to use this prestige, remember to use the cooldown ability of your Ascendants. How you want to do this is, whenever Alarak uses both abilities, use both Deadly Charge and Destruction Wave as Alarak. And then right away, select your Ascendant control group, sacrifice a single Supplicant. That will reset Alarak's cooldowns as long as he's within 15 range of his Ascendants. And that will allow him to use both his abilities again. And then just rinse and repeat. And with double Empower Me, that should make Alarak even better. But yeah, you kind of want to use this if you really like Empower Me. Shadow of Death. Death Fleet no longer has a duration. Ooh, the opposite one. Death Fleet's damage dealt and vitals are reduced by 50%. Some Death Fleet cooldown increased by 1%. Mothership's mass teleport now has a 60-second cooldown. And no longer teleport. Oh, that's kind of a deal breaker for me. I like the only reason I get Death Fleet, I mean, aside from the damage, is it's Alarak's mobility, as I said. So yeah, not sure what this is good for, because it'll be basically a permanent kind of deal for Alarak. If you can keep them alive, maybe if you can keep them alive, you can have more, maybe a longer maps like Missed Opportunities, Mal Warfare. You'll be able to use more of this. I actually don't know. Maybe it just waits for the first Death Fleet to completely die off before being able to use the second one. But we'll have to see. I will definitely make videos of these when the patch goes live. I will test them out. Do let me know which ones you want me to test first. And let's move on to the next one. The ever so spooky Ghost Nova. We have Soldier Fortune. Barracks unit charges accrue 100% faster. Disadvantage. Factory install. Literally, why would I do this? This is a mean prestige. Literally, why would I do this? Liberators are the way to go, man. If you're new to playing Nova, her best units are the Siege Tank and the Liberator. And I guess if you want to go anti-air, Goliaths are also really good. But Barracks units are her flimsiest units. Maybe if you want to go Mass Ghosts. Maybe if the mutation calls for stealth rather than power, just Mass Ghosts and just try to sneak around the map. Yeah, try to deal damage that way. But other than that, I don't think this is a very good prestige. Tactical Dispatcher. Tactical airlift cooldown reduced by 75%. Griffin airstrike is unavailable. I imagine this will be good for a lot of area damage, like going nuclear. You'd want to have a lot of airlift charges available. If you're playing against going nuclear and you're caught in a tight space, you want to have as much chances to preserve your very expensive army as possible. A lot of people might think that you're just airlift once and you're good to go. But what if you're caught in again before the cooldown's active? It's a long cooldown. So yeah. Even at the cost of not being able to use Griffin airstrike, just get more spider mites. Right? Seems good. Or just use Nova's abilities more. I mean, no, the airstrike is usually for people who are out of position or need to kill steal to get more stats. So yeah, not good for normal missions. But if you're going up against going nuclear, for example, or if you get invitations where you get in tight spots, or if you get attacked a lot at home by, for example, void reanimators, you'd want to have this tactical dispatcher. You can lift back to base, and then at 75%, and just teleport right back to the fight. I think after cleaning up the fight back home. Yeah, that seems like the way to do it for this particular one at least. Infiltration Specialist. Nova gains permanent super cloak. What does this mean? Is it like the disruption? Sabotage drone, yeah. Sabotage drone that nothing can stop it basically. Her abilities have a 50% increased radius and have a 50% reduced cooldown. Nova cannot switch her combat suit and loses super cloak for 4 seconds on attacking or using snipe. Yeah, this is gonna be a very much a spotter Nova for, I'm guessing, airstrikes or snipe. Yeah, maybe a spotter for her liberators on some mutations. I'm guessing for cheeses on Scythe of Amon. I just thought of it, guys. She could. You remember that trick I showed you with Swann and Stetboy, and Stetboy deploying his Steadlights at the Void slivers. Nova can do that with this infiltration specialist. Just stand beside the Void sliver. Use or disable auto attack on Nova and let the laser drill work on. Oh man, that's genius! Oh man, another cheese. They'll also obviously work on Rest Core Hall with the Void shards. Maybe Void thrashing can even clear out big swaths of areas using airstrikes. Sounds like a pretty fun one to use for me. Pretty fun one. Alright, that sounds good. Let's move on to the next one. The Stukonator himself, Mr. Alexei Stukov. Frightful Flesh Welder. Factory and starport units no longer have tech requirements. Ooh! Mechanical combat units cost. Ooh! Ooh, this sounds really good. Does not spawn and cannot be built. Yeah, this is just reading it. It's an anti-transmutation prestige. So yeah, this is your anti-transmutation prestige, guys. Anti-poopigators, anti-transmutation. Yeah, Stukov's mech is gonna be cheaper, so you can get more Diamondbacks out. Maybe go triple factory, so you can pump out more Diamondbacks and siege tanks. Maybe go triple starport, so you can pump out more Banshees or mechanical combat units cost 30% less. Does that include the Queen? I doubt it does, which is sad because it's very hard to actually mass Queen a Stukov. You basically need a Kerrigan or a Swann for that gas, or just go on Void Launch. Yeah, it's very hard to go mass Queens as Stukov. But yeah, this one is the anti-transmutation, anti-hoopagator prestige for Swann. Definitely go for this one. Plague Warden. Banshees can load up to 16 infested infantry and can launch. Sounds funny. Load up to 16 infested infantry and can launch their cargo at a ground target. So are they like air siege tanks now? Okay, I want to test this out at least once. But if it's good, that sounds like something I can go for. 30% reduced time life. Yeah, the infested civilians are basically going to be food for the Banshees. We'll see how this one goes. I'd like to say that maybe I can run a mass Banshee competition, Banshee and Liberator, with this thing. We'll see, guys. Infested bunkers spawn troopers 200% faster. Infested bunkers no longer have cargo path. Oh yeah, this is basically reinforcing the bunker style for Stukov. By the way, Stukov's infested marines, but also got a buff, a cost buff. So we'll have to do the math on that one. But if the bunker spawn troopers faster, that'll make it even better for flooding long maps like Mal Warfare and obviously missed opportunities. And you know, if you don't play that fast, Chain of Ascension, or what other maps are relatively slow? Maybe Ardent Parcel if you're slow in clearing the parts. Donny Vermilion? Yeah, probably Donny Vermilion. Anyway. Infested bunkers, yeah, they're gonna be pretty good for this one. If you have a mutator that requires a lot of infested, that I guess means most mutators, like yeah, even area damage mutators, yeah, this would be a bad one. Lord of the Horde. Then again, this removes Stukov's ability to actually deal with stuff like missile command, because the bunkers are probably the best unit you want to have against missile command, because they have 6 dudes inside. With this prestige, you will no longer have dudes inside your bunkers, so it'll be harder to defend against the missiles. But we'll see. Let's move on to the next one. We have Fenix. Okay, what have we here? Akundelar. I'll have to ask Subsorin what that means. All armor suit damage increased by 100%. Ability cooldowns reduced by... Oh wow! Life shield and energy regeneration increased by 100% while in storage. That sounds bonkers. All armor suit cooldowns are increased by... Oh, cooldowns increased by 700%. Each suit can only be sustained for 20 seconds. It sounded so good, guys. It sounded so good. The problem here is that I will no longer be able to use the Arbiter suit as my mobile detection. I used to be able to just run that Arbiter suit as my mobile detection, but with this one, I will no longer be able to do that. Network Administrator. Tactical data web effectiveness increased by 200%. All combat unit cost reduced by 50%. Ooh. All non-heroic combat unit damage reduced by 50%. So basically, Fenix gets mini Protoss units, but what happens when he maxes out? I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how tactical data web works, to be honest. Can you guys clarify for Phoenix mains down there? Because I don't really pay attention to tactical data web stuff. I just make units and attack. Combat unit that. Yeah, this sounds like a nerf, to be honest. Because I like my units effective. They're co-op units, not 1v1 units. Unwavering Vindicator. Avenging Protocol effectiveness increased by 1%. Champion AI set die refunds 75% of the base unit's cost. Okay. Okay, so I can use this against some things like just die. So I can fight them more effectively. Even if my forces die. Basically they get a 75% refund. So I can build it back. And basically lose almost nothing. Well, almost nothing. 20% is significant, but yeah, I'll be able to recoup the cost of my unit, to be honest. Or by oh wait, champion AIs that die. Yeah, I definitely want the champion AIs in front for this one. Maybe I'll get Talus, Taldarin. Thing is, in my games lately, I noticed that my champions don't die, which is weird. Oh man. Yeah, this is gonna be a weird one. For me, it doesn't. None of these sound particularly good. I'll try them out, of course, to give them a fair shot, but I'll probably end up going Purifier Executor, since this one doesn't suck. But yeah, we'll have to find out. Anyway, moving on. All right, guys, are you hungry? Because it's time for Dehaka. Devouring one. That sounds like the hero Zergling from Starcraft 1. Devour applies its benefits to all friendly nearby units. That sounds good. Imagine if I ate if I have a pack of Mutalisks and they all clump up near Dehaka and I eat a ghost. All my Mutalisks will get the magic fart, which is incredible. Or if I eat an aberration, all my Mutalisks would deflect damage back to the attacker. That sounds absolutely bonkers, actually. Or if I get mass Ravasaurs, yeah, and I eat a massive unit, they'll all reflect their damage back. That sounds insane. Dehaka's 0 base armor, loses Scorching Breath ability, max level reduced by 4. So I'd have to give up 4 abilities here, maybe 2 on the leap, 1 on the yell. I only need level 2 for the yelly thing, and 1 else. Maybe the anti-air slap. I'll just eat whatever it is that's in the air, or have my army deal with it. Yeah, maybe that's the way I'll do it. Or one heal point. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, this one doesn't sound bad. This is a trade-off, but the what I get seems something that's awesome, especially if I'm active in devouring units. Primal Contender. Oh wait, imagine if I devour an air unit. Would all my Ravasaurs be able to attack air all of a sudden? Would my Tyrannosaurs be able to attack air? Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I'd like to see this one. I'd like to see this one for myself. Oh, I'd be able to use I'd be able to use Ravasaurs to attack air, if my guess is correct with this one. We'll see, guys. Pack leaders and their entourage deal 50% more damage and have 100% boost life. Pack leader cooldowns reduced by 33%. Pack leaders can consume essence for Dehaka. That sounds awesome. Dehaka exits the map while a pack leader is active. Only one pack leader may be active at a time. Oh. So when the pack leader goes inactive, where does Dehaka spawn? Where the pack leader dies or despawns, or back at the base? I'd like to know these things before we go in. We can actually, you know, not play like a headless chicken. But yeah, this doesn't sound like a bad deal, to be honest. 80% more damage, 100% increased life, and cooldowns reduced by 33%. The spawning time or the abilities? Which cooldown is it? The cooldown for the ability or the cooldown for the pack leader itself? I'd like to know more details. Yeah, it's nice to be able to read these little blurbs, but seeing them in action probably tells a better story. I can't wait to try this stuff out. But looking at this sounds like a hero solo kind of deal. If I'm not too mistaken. Sounds like a hero solo kind of deal. Thing is, on for example, a map like Void Bashing, I like having Dehaka out on the map, luring enemies toward Glovig's Fire Breath. That interaction will no longer be there if I choose this Prime Contender. So I still like the Devouring one, I think. But it could change. We'll see. Brood Brother. Dehaka spawns a clone. If either Dehaka or the clone dies, the other dies. How is that an advantage? That sucks. Dehaka's max health is what? This is a straight debuff. What? How is that? This one just flat out sucks. What? Am I crazy, guys? In what world is this a buff? I guess double the damage output, double the slapping, double the eating? Maybe. Yeah, but if I lose either one of them, both of them die. 35%. That. I had to know the specifics though. If they could both eat two things at once though, maybe that won't be bad. But yeah, looking at it, doesn't sound too convincing, to be honest. This one doesn't look too good. Anyway, yeah. The Devouring one sounds like the best one of these, or the least bad, I think. As we move on to our next commander, Han and Horner. There we go, Mr. Horner and his partner. We have Chaotic Power Couple. Magmine's fire, arm and fire 80% faster. Mira's hits on death effects are 100% more effective. Horner's hits cost 30% more. Yeah, this is a full Mira prestige. Just go mass Galleon units. Just swarm them with Reapers, Hellions, Hellbutts, Widow Mines, what have you. Just throw them more because their death effects are actually buffs. Just use the mines on your base for defense. They'll probably shoot instantly, which will make them suck less versus moving targets. I'll definitely give this one a try. I think this might be my go-to for regular maps, unless I'm trying out new stuff. Then we have Wing Commanders. Horner's Yet's Vespene gas cost reduced by 20%. Charge cooldown reduced by 50%. Okay, this was big. Gallons are capped at 2. This was pretty big, because right now, on a long map like Malwar Fair, Han and Horner can grab a grand total of, drumroll please, 2 battlecruisers. That's how long it takes to get a battlecruiser. With the proper cooldown. Was it 2 or 4? Something like that. Something very tiny. But with the cooldown reduced by 50%, I imagine that I'd be able to actually mass battlecruisers on that map. With the gas cost reduced by 20% as well, that does seem like a good option. Galleons are capped at 2, so I'll just mass Hellions with whatever I can get from the Galleons. And yeah, I think this would be a good one for things like Transmutation and Propagators. Yeah. Galactic Gunrunners. Bombing platforms are no longer capped. Bombing platforms cost 100% more. Yeah, Dead of Night. Done. Moving on. Our next commander will be Tychus, whose head is almost out of the frame, but that doesn't matter because yeah. We have Technical Recruiter. Outlaw's active ability cooldowns reduced by 35%. Outlaw cost and time between outlaw recruitment increased by 50%. Outlaw cost and time. Wait, outlaw cost increased by 50%, but their active ability cooldowns reduced by 35%. You know what? I might use this because I like maxing out on Cirrus first. So yeah, if I can use my turrets 35% faster, I think that'll be a really good deal for me. Although that might hurt me on longer maps, I think, because yeah, they cost more. I'd be able to use on shorter maps. Sorry. Yeah, I might not even be able to get my 3rd or 4th outlaw out because of the increased costs on longer maps, or on shorter maps rather. Then again, if the cooldown is reduced by 35%, I can use the grenade pretty often. use the revitalizer, use the storm, this pink storm thing, use the turrets. Yeah, that sounds like a not bad deal. Lone Wolf. Outlaws deal 2% more damage and take 50% less damage when beyond the vision range of other outlaws. Ultimate gear is unavailable. Gear costs 25% more. Sheesh. So I have to micro on different screens. This one forces me to micro on different screens or play with short-sighted. Because it says vision range of all other outlaws. So short-sighted reduces their vision range by reduces their vision range down to 2, I think. So just have short-sighted active, and you're good to go for Lone Wolf. I think this is how it works, but we'll have to see. Dutiful Dog Walker. The Odin no longer requires Tychus as its pilot. Its duration is increased by 1%, and its cooldown is reduced by 40%. Barrage and Bigger are that sucks. The Odin sucks, guys. The only reason I ever get the Odin is to use the big red button. If I can't use that, then I'd rather not use the Odin. Yeah, this one's like this sort of was gonna be a no-go for me. I'm sorry, guys. If you really like the Odin and you don't use the big red button, it's a waste of time. The Odin is just for the big red button, and you just suicide it so you can get Tychus and his grenades back. Splash damage is better. Yeah, damage up with Tychus is just flat out better. That's my thoughts on that. You can disagree in the comments if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm being stupid, but yeah, feel free. Moving on, we have Zeratul, also phasing in for the shadows. Let's see. Anaxun. I have no idea what that means. Guys, Subsurian, if anyone is reading this, please do let me know what these things mean. Zeratul can deploy the Void Seeker, granting all friendly units in a target area Super Cloak for 15 seconds. Void Seeker can no longer transport the Zeratul. I'm not sure if that's worth, to be honest. 15 seconds of Super Cloak is nice, but I guess it's for burst damage. If you want to cheese something like Scythe of Amon, or Void Thrashing, or Scythe of Amon, Void Thrashing, or Rifts to Core Hall, you drop your forces on top of the objective spawns, and then use the Void Seeker, and then you have 15 seconds to kill whatever it is you have to kill. Kill in 15 seconds, get out. That's the plan. If you don't kill in 15 seconds, you're dead. That's basically it. Super Cloak, I think, works like the Sabotage Run for Nova. The enemy can't see it even with detection. I think that's how it works. Yeah, this is basically a suicide, or not a suicide one, but a timed precision attack designed to kill a specific objective within 15 seconds. If you don't kill in 15 seconds, get out or you're dead. That's how I see it. Knowledge Seeker. Zeratul can collect an unlimited number of artifact fragments. Zeratul's combats cost 25% more. Definitely a longer map type of thing. Mal Warfare, Missed Opportunities, Dawny Vermilion. Yeah. Herald of the Void. Each collected artifact. You know what? I might do another Dead of Night. Let's change up the map, shall we? I wonder how powerful I can get Zeratul to be if I can just let him keep collecting artifact fragments on a map like Lock and Load. Lock and Load. That map. Just let him keep collecting artifact fragments and see how powerful I can get his units to be. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Definitely not Dead of Night. Herald of the Void. Each collect artifact fragment reduces the cooldown of Zeratul's Shadow Cleave by 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 50 deathly seconds, guys. Shadow Cleave spawns a tornado that damages and slows enemy units. Oh, that sounds really good. Zeratul can collect only up to 2 artifact fragments. I guess this is for short maps. Lock and Load. Lock and Load and Void Thrashing, maybe. Tornado seems pretty good, to be honest. But the fact that we can only collect 2 fragments means that the Shadow Cleave's cooldown can be reduced by 10 seconds, so Tornado is nice. I guess it will allow us to push through the last base of Lock and Load or Void Thrashing. Yeah, that sounds like a short map kind of deal for me. But yeah, other than that, I'd still This is a snipe thing. This is a short map thing. This is a long map thing. This is how I see it. Short map, long map, snipe map. Yeah, that's how I see it. Okay, that being said, let's move on to the next commander, Mr. Stetboy. Let's see what he has. Signal Savant. Satellites are invulnerable once they are online. Satellites generate 50% larger Stetson. Ooh! Super Gary's unavailable. Oh, that's a deal breaker. I kinda rely heavily on Super Gary. I'm not sure. Maybe on Oblivion Express. I'm thinking Oblivion Express is what I'll use this on. If I don't have Super Gary, I'd better have lots of things that can take advantage of my stat zone. Maybe Void Launch. Maybe Donny Vermilion, but I'd like to... Yeah, I'd use this on maps where the first wave doesn't come early, just so I'd have more stuff to defend. But Super Gary is my defense, man. he's my entire early game. If I only have Gary available, that might be a weaker version of me. But I mean, with the larger stat zone, and if I can delay the map long enough for my years to come out, maybe it'll be worth it. We'll see. But yeah, this definitely sounds like a Void Launch Oblivion Express type of deal to me. Best buddy. Gary's health and damage increased by 100%. Gary's movement speed is reduced 90% as set zones. Ooh, this is a small map kind of deal then. Small map like I had to use the Gary zone here then. On whatever map I choose to do it on, maybe on longer maps I can use it too, like Metal Warfare, Missile Opportunities, those two. As long as I keep using the Gary zone to drop satellites wherever they are, or on defensive maps. Like when I'm choosing Sky of Amon, Void Launch maybe, Oblivion Express definitely. Gary's health and damage increasement. This is really good. Does that affect Super Gary? I assume it also affects Super Gary. But yeah, he has to stay in the stat zone, otherwise it's not gonna work. Although I think I'm pretty good about making sure Gary's in the Gary zone, in the stat zone, just because the E-Gorb is way more effective when you're in the Gary zone. I think yeah, Best Buddy is not a bad deal. This doesn't sound like a bad deal at all. He's slower outside the stat zone, but I just use the Gary zone, right? Let's see, Oil Baron. Combat. I tried saying Baron in a funky way, but combat units gain a stack of the best oil when they kill an enemy unit. I'd like to know what the best oil is before actually making a decision on this one. Combat units cost 40% more minerals. Mecha infestors are unavailable. If this is like biomass, I'd like it for Ultralisks, for Mecha Ultralisks. Maybe Mecha Battle Carrier Lords. Best oil. What that means when they kill an enemy unit. Oh, it's like transmutation, and not like transmutation. Something like it, because they gain buffs whenever they kill an enemy unit, not by collecting a bunch of killed enemy biomass all around the map, just instantly. It's more like Dehaka's buffs. Yeah, I'd like to see how much benefit they actually get from the best oil. I imagine this doesn't work for Zergling based compositions because there are way too many Zerglings to actually see a visible benefit for each. This is probably an Ultras kind of deal, or a Lurker kind of deal. Maybe Hydralisk if you don't make too many of them. Maybe... yeah, this very much seems like an Ultras kind of deal to me. But you know, something for me to test out. More content, guys. Hooray! Yeah, let's move on to our last commander, Mr. Arcturus Mengsk. What does he have? A huge gigantic thumb, that's what he has. See that thumb? It's gigantic. Toxic Tyrant. Contaminated Strike Spear lasts 200 seconds longer, or 200% longer. Its damage over time effect additionally increases damage received by 100%. Yeah, the last time I used Contaminated Strike, it didn't really do anything. 200% longer, so 400% more effective? Its cost is reduced by 20%. Nice. And its cooldown reduced by 66%. So basically mass the green cloud all over the enemy units. The thing is, it doesn't kill buildings. That's the thing. Troopers provide Imperial support while operating. Oh, Imperial support while operating Earthblade. That sounds good. Nuclear annihilation. Oh, it's gotta be a deal breaker, man. This was sounding like a good deal already with the improved what do you call it? Imperial support, but no nukes. That sounds so. The only thing I can use this on is Zerg. Definitely won't be using this on poops or transmutation. Wait, not trans. Yeah, won't be using a transmutation poops because the only top bar I can use is the Zerg, which yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do with the. I guess what I'll do with the extra energy is just mass contaminated strike, but it'll have to be on a very bio heavy map like Dead of Night or Minor Evacuation. That's how I imagine I'll use it on. Although, where would I camp the Earth Splitters? Probably in the expansion area of Minor Evacuation. We'll see. We'll see, guys. Although, on Oblivion Express, if the enemies arrive all from the same spot, I can technically use the contaminated strike. Keep them in place until they die. Maybe. We'll see. Principal Proletariat. Royal Guard Vespine gas costs reduced by 25%. And XP gain increased by 1%. Ooh. Royal Guard mineral costs increased by 1%. And supply costs increased by 50%. Yeah, basically you're sacrificing the vampires for in favor of Principal Proletariats here. I guess it depends on your playstyle. If you really like a Nova type of army and your friend already plays Nova, you can do this kind of prestige for Arcturus Mansk and use the Royal Guard there. Pretty good to me. Merchant of Death. Equipped troopers activate a self-destruct mechanism in their weapons on death. Trooper weapons cost 40 minutes and 20 Vespine gas. Oh. Troopers no longer drop weapons. This is inhumane. That is actually inhumane. Oh man. I imagine I'll use this on whenever I have to sacrifice a lot of dudes, maybe kill bots. Sounds very inhumane. Definitely won't buy special weapons for dudes against kill bots though. Troopers activate self-destruct. Yeah, that sounds very humane. Man. What would I use that on though? Maybe broodlings. If alien incubation is active, I might use this. But if alien incubation is active, I think toxic tyrant might just be better. Or not, because the dudes can't shoot inside the Earth Splitter Ordnance. Yeah, maybe I will use this for alien incubation stuff. Seems like a good deal. Also, what else would I use this on? Maybe against Poopagators? Because yeah, when the Poopagator kills my dude, at least I can have some sort of fight back. Yeah, self-destruct mechanism weapon upon death. I'll have to see how good the self-destruction is before I use this. But yeah, those are all the commanders, guys. Thank you for bearing me for 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's insane. But yeah, so much new content for all these commanders. I can't wait to try them all out, even the ones that I think are sucky. I'd really like to be convinced that a prestige that I thought was bad is actually good. That'd be an amazing thing. I'll just keep using it over and over again and just but yeah. Do let me guys know which prestige you are most interested in and what your thoughts are on prestige in general. I'll have another video coming soon talking about the other changes that are coming to co-op. But anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else you can do, please leave that in a comment. See you.